Jet Setting Jen here. I am back in the Ice Mageddon in Dallas to bring you guys, of course, another honest review. This time we're talking all about Princess Cruise Lines. So, those of you who know, I have cruised Princess quite a lot. I actually have the elite status with them, which we'll get into later. They do have a very extensive loyalty program. So, if you do like a lot of their itineraries, it is great for people who enjoy coming back. They definitely specialize in, I would say, a relaxed vibe. I would say it's definitely more mature. You're going to see less kids. You're going to see longer, more in depth itineraries. So, this is actually one thing I really love about Princess. Um, if you have more time, like 10, 12, 14 days, you can really hit a lot of places. For example, one itinerary that I think is really great is their Norwegian fjords, which most cruise lines are doing about a 7 day itinerary, whereas they're doing anywhere from 10 to 14-day itineraries. Okay, so like I said, more in depth, you're seeing more and you're doing more still in the same trip. So I really love them for that. I also really love their beds. Their cabins, their staff is really on top of stuff. I mean, I've on the multiple ones I've been on, the service staff is just, I mean, honestly, I can't say anything better except for river cruising. So I will say, from a comfort and service perspective, even their older ships have been refurbished and really have a really nice feel to them. And the cabins, even though if you get like an interior or ocean view, they are, the normal size, I would say, a little bit under the 200 square feet mark. But even if you don't want to pay for the balcony or you don't want to pay for the mini suite, it still is a very comfortable room and definitely can easily hold a couple or, two friends that are traveling together and don't mind being in, those kinds of quarters. But again, going right back to the unique destinations and longer, just general unique and specialized cruising, if that's something that you're looking at, this is really great. I also love their movies under the stars. So on their top deck, even on the older ships and the new ones as well, in the back, they have brand new movies that they premiere all the time, which is great for movie lovers. Or if like you just want to hang out on the top deck and you happen to have nice weather, that's really great. They're also well known for their pizza. So I am a pizza connoisseur, being from New Jersey. I have been on cruise ships where I didn't really love the pizza. I can only think of one other cruise line, which I'm not going to disclose, that I would say competes with Princess's quality for their pizza. They make their pizzas fresh. They're open pretty long. I would say like 11 to like midnight. So that's really great. And self-service laundry. More cruise lines doing this. I mean, this is crazy. I understand they want to charge per item. Princess also has that feature if, you just don't want to be bothered with the laundry room, or we really want everything dry cleaned and pressed. However, for those of us who are trying to travel the world at a lower cost, this is a huge convenience. And I really wish more mainstream cruise lines did this. It's very affordable. The last time I was on Princess, it was $3 a load. Okay. And I'm talking a huge washing machine. $3 a load. They have them on multiple decks. And yeah, it's just a really great amenity to have. Their spa is also very nice, one of the nicest ones that I've seen on mainstream cruising. So that's really great. And if you're not traveling with kids, I do think this is a really great cruise line for, maybe like the younger, more adventurous traveler. We've met tons of really friendly, really nice, kind people on this cruise line. I would say more than any other cruise line that I've been on, where, people that I still stay in touch with after the cruise, which is, huge. So that's another thing. Now, let's get into some cons. So, if you are part of a family with multiple children, if you are a huge partier, if you're just like super young and you're looking for like a progressive cruise line, you're not going to find those things here. Okay. So, this is definitely a niche market. I would say the average age is still probably in the 50s, but you will find some younger people on here, just like you'll find also 70-year-olds who are super active and cool, and you're going to want to hang out with them, even if you're in your 30s. So, what I will say is the demographic is very varied, which I love that about Princess. But I mean, if you're traveling with kids, I mean, they do have a kids program. It's totally possible to go on this cruise. Would I recommend this cruise line for multiple children, especially? I would say no. Maybe if you have one kid and they're more mature, like maybe a teenager or something like this, then I would say totally fine. But if you're talking like young kids who still like the bells and whistles, the roller coasters, and the water slides, obviously you're not going to find that here. Um, so that's something to consider. Another thing is that since, of course, we're not talking about a river cruise, which are my favorite, if you have watched my videos on those, this is not an all inclusive product. We can make it an all inclusive product, but you're going to pay for that. Okay. So passengers are definitely going to face additional charges if you want Wi Fi, tips, and beverage package included, thousands more, just like you would with, other mainstream cruise lines. I'm talking Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, NCL, all of the big mainstream players. Um, However, they do have the Princess Plus now, which is been raised to $70 a day. Now, do I think this is worth it? I really think this is a personal preference. I don't know that it's always worth it. It really depends how much you drink, how many specialty coffees you have. Do you want bottled water every day? Because these things, of course, are all included with that beverage package. Or you could just pay per drink and not deal with that at all. The Medallion app, I do think is super cool. They give you something to wear it for free, like for example on your wrist, for example on your neck. You can buy or upgrade to additional options for that, but it's super nice to be carrying a bunch of stuff and bam, you just tap into your room. Again, another feature that I do wish other cruise lines were doing, but the reason I have this under cons is because sometimes it is a little bit buggy and inconsistent. Like when we walk up to the door, like maybe it doesn't catch you on the first try. So I am throwing it under a con. Also, like it is a new technology and they're working it out. But I will say when it works, I do think this is really great. It's also the same thing when you tap on and off. So you don't have to worry about carrying a little C card, C pass, whatever they're calling it, on the mainstream with you, which I do like. And that's really nice. The last thing I'll say is their newer ships are beautiful. However, they're holding a lot more passengers. So, I personally never think it's better to go bigger as far as that's concerned. I definitely think smaller ships are the future, and this is where we're going, whether it's mainstream and we're lowering it to like 3 to 4,000 guests, whereas people like or not people, but cruise lines like Royal Caribbean and Carnival, of course, are increasing their capacity. And since Princess is related to the Carnival Corp, if you didn't know, they are under the same umbrella. So obviously, they are also going for a higher guest capacity. I don't think this is like the end of the world, but I definitely think that this is a con because I don't think there's ever a positive to having, 6,000 people on a cruise versus 2,000. Okay. But these are all of the good, the bad, and the ugly about Princess. And if you guys have any comments, drop in the box below, and I'll be back with another honest review next week. See you guys next Friday. Hey guys, as always, thanks so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. And if you guys have any questions or got some value from this video, please go ahead and leave a comment, DM me, or feel free to email me at my business email in the description box below so we can work together. See you next Friday.